Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. And I just want to talk a little bit about Update 4.6, which is a major update that they've dropped early last week and caused a fair bit of controversy over the rebalancing issues, but I'll get back to that a bit later. So what have they done? Well, I have a link to the full changes, the patch notes in the video description. So they've brought in 8 new mercenary tech tree vehicles, the Thresher, the Sharpshooter, the Stinger, the Long Reach, the Thunder Bucket, the Roundabout, the Deadbolt, and the Machine. The Thunder Bucket's a rather unfortunate name. I don't know what they think of in America when they think of Thunder Bucket, but it's not something I would want to associate with my tank. RT Trajectory Cam. This is a new thing. It's been in the PC version for a while, at least a year, possibly 2 years. It allows you basically see along the line of flight of the shell, more or less, as it's arriving. So you can see how it interacts with obstacles more easily, and you can thread shots around obstacles more easily. I've never played it, so I haven't played on the PC version for years. I never really got anywhere on the PC version. But I've always felt that I didn't particularly like it. I think it makes artillery a little too easy. I think artillery is a little too easy as it stands, but I don't object strongly to artillery. I mean, I don't have a big problem with artillery, but I don't like the trajectory cam. Although that said, a lot of people that are playing artillery really love it because it allows them to do stuff that you really can't do with the other top-down camera. They've brought in clear camouflage, which basically means that you buy a camouflage slot, same as you would with the painted camouflage, summer, winter, autumn, whatever, but it doesn't change the base colour of your tank. It's for those people who like the base colour of their tanks but want the benefit of camouflage. Benefit of camouflage isn't huge. Probably makes a difference in light tanks and maybe some mediums, but I mostly get camouflage tanks because it makes them look nice. Platoon changes. These are pretty substantial. They've basically you're in a platoon all the time, as far as I can tell. Because if you go into replay mode, it asks you, do you want to leave the platoon? And sometimes I get host player has already launched game when I click start on a battle, which is a kind of benign bug because I'm not in a platoon at the time. I'm not with anybody else. I am the host player. They've limited to the same tier tanks to stop failed platoons, or at least as best they can, and they've limited RT to 3 per platoon. Personally, I think platoons should be limited to 3-man platoons anyway. Platoon of 5 mediums or 5 lights, in the hands of players that are competent, is lethal. It's like a third of the team, and it completely changes the dynamic of the game. Fortunately, most platoons aren't of people that are in the same kind of tank, and generally are not of people that are of equal competence or competence at all. Some of these restrictions do not apply to war stories and co-op modes. There's a randomized crew name button added. Yeah, right. Now there's a large rebalance and adjusted amount of vehicles in game. Yeah, that was a big one. So, Tech Tree additions. The branching off from the WZ11114. There's the WZ1115A, and of course the Super Conqueror, which is the target Conqueror with the shaped, or what do you call it, spaced armor added around the turret. 2 new maps, Can 1944 and Pearl River. It's the base Pearl River. I mean, I have no problem with Pearl River. It's a very corridor type map, but I mean, I've always kind of enjoyed it. Had decent enough games in it. I figured out how to play it with most tanks. Can 1944 is Can with the eastern side of the map replaced with a beach. So everything from the central escarpment right to the eastern edge of the map is a beach with tents and fortifications and stuff. Bunch of other stuff, a lot of bug fixes, and then the tank rebalancing. Tank rebalancing has been controversial, to say the least. A lot of people are very upset about it. That said, as far as I can tell, there is no diminution in the amount of French autoloaders of the light, medium, or heavier variety that are faffing around on the battlefield since the update has download it. I certainly haven't noticed any difference. Though a lot of those tanks, except for the Bat Chats, have got nerfs of various types, particularly the heavies, I think, and the AMXs of various types, and I think the Lorraine 50B as well. But there's a whole bunch of tanks of all nations that have gotten nerfed, which have upset a lot of people because some of their favourite tanks have been nerfed. Now I can understand that. I can also understand people who are upset by this extensive rebalancing, when at the same time tanks like the Waffenträger E100 is in the game, or you have the 183, the FB 415B, the FV 415B, the Death Star and the Hesh Star are both in there with full value Hesh, up to 2,000 points damage if they penetrate. My own personal theory is they got rid of the Waffenträger E100 from the PC game because they couldn't balance it, and the Hesh Star rebalancing was done, or the Hesh rebalancing was done because they want to promote competitive esports in the PC game. Although I don't know if either of those tanks were much used by esports type teams. So tank balance is a really key issue and a concern. Otherwise everybody comes up to the battlefield with the same overpowered tank rather than a variety of tanks, which is kind of less enjoyable for the spectators. It might be still fun for the players, but it mightn't necessarily be of interest to the spectators, so it affects the esports side of the game, and that's an area they seem to want to promote on the PC side. But they don't seem to give a damn about it on the Xbox side, and they don't particularly care for implementing an officially sanctioned Clan Wars scene either. It's something they've never really made any steps to implement, as far as I can determine. And it's been around long enough, I don't see any reason why the clans are active. They've allowed clans, but they haven't, as far as I can tell, done anything really to support clans in any major way. So, and I don't see this changing. I think this is a fundamental philosophy at some stage. Is it affecting the game adversely? It's very hard for outsiders to say. I mean, we're here. I mean, the game, yes, it is declining. There are less. Queue times are noticeably getting longer. We probably are losing veteran players, but would we be doing it anyway? Is this a feature of the Xbox environment? I have really no idea, and it's very hard to call it based on the kind of evidence that we get on the forums or on the users, because that's not really representative of the player base. The majority of players have no idea about the forums. They don't go near the forums. They just play the game, and they'll play it until they get sick of it or a better game comes along, and then they'll go and play whatever the latest thing is. And like you said, I personally don't really go through long lists of nerfs and buffs because I don't know what the original values of the tank were like anyway, and I might have not played most of them either. So I hope you found this video interesting. Thank you for watching. Please give it a like if you did, and if you have not already done so, please subscribe. I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.